Movie Time is produced by John DeSando. Listen to the shows and read reviews online at WCBE.org.
I'm John DeSando.
I'm Wayne Miller. And we've got...
wait a minute. First of all, it's movie time.
It's movie time.
Right.
It
is movie time.
Is this It's Movie Time chapter 15?
Chapter 20 after 20 years, I think.
I think so. And, of course, we've got little Pennywise here with us today. And he's kind of brought down to size. Not to give any spoilers away.
Well, the movie is It Chapter 2.
Yes.
And it's probably the second half of Stephen King's novel.
Yes.
My guess, yeah.
Yes.
Somewhere around there. And it's, of course, it's dominating the box office this last weekend.
And I didn't know until I was reading last night that the first one, back in 2017, the first first half of this saga, I think was probably what I read for horror films. I think the highest grossing one.
All right, I'm not surprised.
And I remember reading something about that, but it was a big one. And I tell you, talk about a saga. This is almost an epic. Clocking in at 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Oh my Lord.
Oh my goodness.
And boy, they just piled everything into this.
They threw not one, not two, but several little individual episodes for each of the characters. And then I thought a very interesting way of kind of blending in. If I remember reading right, I think they filmed this almost right on the heels of the 2017 one, because the kids that are really nearly as prominent in the movie as the adults. The kids, the younger version of the adults, are in there, and new scenes and everything. I thought, well, maybe they would incorporate, which they did, but to incorporate other new scenes with the kids, and of course the trials that these folks went through.
Well, first of all, let me add to that by saying I think there are way too many flashbacks.
Oh, yeah.
And that added to the 3 hours, and I don't think many of them were necessary. That's all.
Well, and interesting that you brought that up, because one of the reviews I was reading said that they predominantly used a lot of flashbacks going back to the time 27 years earlier,
right?
Because it seemed like that this person or this being, basically, because you learn a little bit of the backstory of how it landed on Earth in a meteor shower or whatever, and but 27 years later, after the kids kind of vanquished him, but they didn't quite think maybe they didn't do a thorough job, and so
per usual
that they made.
Although I think they take care of things in this one.
Yes,
we're not going to see a sequel.
I don't. Well, who knows?
I know.
But the thing of it is, it would be quite different from the Stephen King book.
Yeah.
Because he effectively wrapped it up. And the one thing that I read about, and I'm going to go and watch it again. They got it on sale at Walmart for $5. The DVD of the It miniseries in 1990, which was highly anticipated and pretty good, and using a stable of TV stars at the time: John Ritter, Richard Thomas, Tim Reed, Harry Anderson. And so they were the adult versions, and stuck kind of closely to the book. And I think the two movies, the 2017 one and then the sequel, kind of stuck. You saw a lot of parallels, but the one review said, and to go back to what you were saying about flashbacks, they felt that miniseries did a better job because it was almost a parallel plot structure. The kids and their adult versions as they would battle.
Well, in this one, it's way too much for too many characters. Basically, in order to stop Pennywise, they all have to divest themselves of their hang-ups and their fears and their everything. And so that means you've got quite a few characters to go through, and they just don't do a great job. even with 3 hours, they don't exhaust the possibility. Bill Hader is probably the best one.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
that.
But of course,
Right.
they're gonna keep me from seeing Jessica Chastain too much.
Yeah, I know. And she does a good job. I think the acting was good, but you said, like
Yeah.
you said, Bill Hader. Of course, the comedy relief that he brought to it.
Yes.
And as well as, and I wonder if you picked up on the sly cameo that Stephen King made.
Oh, I did. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
in the antique store
Yeah.
as Bill, who kind of the lead character, played, I think, pretty well by an excellent British actor, James McAvoy.
Oh, yes.
And,
Yes.
who, of course, was the best thing about the two M. Night Shyamalan movies, Split and then Glass. You know, with his multiple personalities.
Well, I thought we would have deep sixed his career after we did a review of his movie.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Completely irresponsible of us.
It kind of went down the toilet. That we saw a number of toilets in chapter.
Well, look
2.
when he's on, Pennywise is a pretty terrifying guy.
He is.
The clown face, the reptilian teeth, and his mockery of them is pretty good stuff. Otherwise, there are a whole bunch of set pieces piled one upon the other.
Almost to the point of exhaustion. And you're right, especially when you get closer to the end of the movie, and then each of the 6 main characters, the kids, basically. And then you get a set piece for each of them. And then, when they really kind of unite and go down in the pits of hell to battle Pennywise, once again, they all have their little set pieces and trials and tribulations they have to go through. And, but acting-wise, I think, well, of course, special effects, and of course, my favorite scene was when the Jessica Chastain character, Beverly, goes back to the apartment that she had shared with her abusive father. And there's this old woman there. And I think if anybody should be nominated for a supporting actress award.
Not pretty.
Oh, well,
right.
But she does such a, and to me, that's my favorite, the most terrifying episode. And Guy probably reminded us both of some of our ex-wives. And especially she strips naked and becomes this monster with swinging pendulous breasts taking off after poor Beverly.
But you're reminding me that in the first chapter of it, those couple of years ago, I thought more terrifying than anything even the modern was just simply looking down into the sewer.
Yes. Oh,
with the little kid.
The little kid.
And Pennywise seducing him to put his hand down there and pulling the kid.
I would recommend to any of our listeners to go online and look at some of these. They're on YouTube.
And YouTube.
Yeah, and some of these things that and one of them is excellent. And since I had fairly fond memories of the miniseries, that comparing how the miniseries did as compared to these 2 movies, and you're absolutely right. And both of them have a very chilling scene of little Georgie, the hero Bill's younger brother.
Right.
Who he didn't want to go out and play
in
the rain with, and so the kid goes out there by himself, and which adds to Bill's almost eternal guilt, for letting his little brother go outside and play, and winds up. And both of them had, as poor Georgie's little arm is ripped off, and but anyhow, it was enjoyable, but I tell you, I was exhausted by the end.
Well, I think you could take less time and look at Ready or Not.
Yes.
As a scary film, scary and funny film, and even Good Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of funny, foul-mouthed, reminding me of my favorite Christmas film with Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes, Bad Santa.
Bad Santa.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, I think it's an endurance test.
Yes.
Those people who love Stephen King and the adaptations, it's It's not Carrie, it's not Misery. And
Yeah.
one of the reasons it's not is that it's too jam-packed.
Yes.
Those are much sparer. They focus on a particular character, and they go, this is... But I don't think Stephen King fanatics will be disappointed.
Oh, I don't think so either. But you brought up an interesting point, and that is some of these longer novels of his, Salem's Lot and The Stand.
Good one.
And I even felt The Shining, was almost, like an epic type of
Yeah,
book.
you're right.
But it was how that worked. It was so enclosed
Right.
here. This is, even though it's a small town, but it did bring up two interesting points, though, that I've always been intrigued with, but somewhat terrified. One is the bullies, and which really, in the first movie, that was a big part of it. Excuse me. And the one bully who is institutionalized for these 27 years, they had done a little bit more with him and him terrorizing the kids. Like in the miniseries and the other, as the adults. I think that was a missed opportunity. But also, I've always been intrigued with the not so subtle sinisterism of carnivals.
Oh, yes.
And
yeah,
I
good
thought,
point.
and especially at the beginning,
Yes.
what I thought was a very harrowing scene talking about bullies and, these homophobic bullies
Yes.
beating the crap out of this one poor
And what
guy.
better place than a big smiling clown?
Yes. And the carnival and the House of Mirrors
Yes.
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I thought that
Some
that
of these
was
are
very
tropes, but they really did very well. Now, this is not Stand By Me.
good.
No.
No,
It's,
no.
don't,
But he does a good job with kids.
Yes, he does.
And even going back to like high school kids like Carrie.
Yeah.
I thought was
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think he does a
Superb.
good,
Yeah.
very good job.
Yeah.
And he must have been traumatized by bullies in his youth.
Well, I don't think we've completely damaged the film since it's already made $200 million.
No.
What do they care about us? But
Yeah, with our listening audience and the ones who would see our video posts on YouTube.
Wayne Miller, the film is It. What
Yes.
grade do you award
I'm
it?
gonna give it a B-.
And I am exactly going to give it the same grade.
Okay.
So it's not a complete loss.
No.
It's
no.
a pretty thin week.
But also one of the reviews said it kind of rescued, kind of like a disappointing superhero type of big movies like this, that they weren't that satisfied with some of the ones in the
Yes.
summer, even though I really like the Spider-Man movie.
It, Chapter 2,
Yep.
rest assured there will not be a Chapter 3.
I know. What do you think about that, Penny? Come play with me, Johnny and Wayne. Come play with me.